Hello, everybody. It is that kind of episode, In Between the Pages with James Lott Jr. I know you're looking to the left of me or right of me. However, I know you're not even looking at me right now. I know you're not. You're looking over there. Believe it or not, this person is amazing. He is amazing. But it's his quarantine life, so he's a little rough around the edges, literally.
Literally.
But he is actually a digital series legend. Anacostia. Creator, producer, director, writer, star, promotions, casting. One man, but he does it all. And the show is just amazing. We're talking, 10, 11 years the show's been around. Just amazing.
11 years.
Also, I have one of these little tchotchkes because of this man. My infamous speech last year. I still get people still tell me about all the time. He's the creator and producer of and the ringmaster of the Capital City Web Awards. And we're going to talk about that too, how you felt about last year, what's going to happen this year. But we're going to spill all kinds of tea. I got my tea ready. We're going to talk about it. One of my favorite people in the world, Anthony Anderson.
Hello, James. Hello. This is really what quarantine looks like. I saw Greg Zarian. I saw Greg Zarian on your show last week, and I said, Greg is not quarantining. Because that is not what quarantine looks like. That looked like a regular Tuesday at Greg's house. So, this is what 40-something days without a haircut looks like.
But you look like my Aunt Ruth. I'm like, what's going on?
Could be.
Facial hair and everything, Anthony. Facial hair and everything.
Yes, could. Genetics, baby.
Exactly. I'm just like, I shaved my goatee. I said, that's right, girl. You do it, girl.
Yes. You have to have the straightways and everything. It's okay.
You bring up a good point. We're being funny, but in a way, we kind of have to be funny, don't we? At this point, this is kind of insane, isn't it?
Listen. You have to be. Me personally, I've been home for a year actually, because last year in April, our windows at work started busting out spontaneously.
That's right.
And they sent us home and found out that the building foundation was weak and was putting pressure in the middle of the building. And so we haven't been back since. And I said that day on April the 13th, I said, we're not going back to this building. Come to find out, I wasn't going back to the building because 3 weeks ago, I started a new job. So it's like kind of like it was kind of prophetic.
Yeah,
prosthetic,
whatever. That's the word.
Prosthetic.
Prosthetic.
Whatever the word is.
Yes.
That we're not going back to the building. So I've never been back. But yeah, so like right now, you gotta have a sense of humor about all this. Can't leave the house barely with a mask on and stuff. So you gotta have some type of sense of humor, entertain yourself.
Yes, you do. I agree with that completely. And I said, I've been home 42 days. I've been home, as of this recording, I've been home 42 days. I have not left my property. But see, I'm lucky, Anthony. I got a big backyard and everything, so I'm very fortunate.
Yes. You're lucky. You have a big backyard. I have a 14-year-old upstairs that likes to get up early and eat. Won't eat cereal. He likes waffles and eggs and bacon, and sometimes you don't feel like fixing that. Sometimes you want to say, have this cinnamon toast crunch and be happy, but he don't want it. So I have to be up in the kitchen cooking.
You're an amazing son. So he's good. He's doing good.
Yes, he just made honor roll.
I know.
Just made honor roll.
Feed that smart little kid.
Yeah.
Feed him.
Feed him. Just feed him.
Give him that food. Make sure he's a growing boy. Want to feed his brain.
Yes.
And I love it. That's good.
Yes, and
congratulations to him, though. That's good. We got some strong kids out there, folks. We're not all done.
That's right.
There's some strong kids out there, smart kids out there.
Part of my product placement.
Okay. Well, actually, my mug is from the King Center in Atlanta. So I love it there. Actually, if you've never been, folks, it's beautifully upkept and everything. And it's beautiful. Across from the church we used to do stuff at. It's amazing, actually. So
we're having Shea Popeyes tonight.
Hey,
So
I love some Popeyes. I love me some Popeyes. Don't get me started.
Yeah. That's right. Grubhub has been my friend, even though it's cost $98 to deliver.
Oh my God. Okay. I know. The other day I was like, okay, I have negative $10 in my account, and my Uber Eats is gonna cost me $40. What do I do? I still ordered the food and got it. I don't care.
There you go. It's okay. What they gonna do? Come and knock on your door and demand the money?
Well, my thing was, my life is worth something, so I'd rather have it delivered to my house than me going over there to get it. So I'll pay the extra.
That's right.
$6.99 for delivery charge, which is outrageous. No. But I'll do it.
Nope. No and no.
Yeah, I gotta do what I have to do to survive. That's right.
That's right.
In the urban jungle. But no, one thing I do want to ask you, it's kind of funny.
Yes.
Because I have this award. I look at it's on my mantle normally over there. My mantle.
Yes.
How do you feel about how the award show went last year? Now it's been almost a year. You can look back on it. I mean, I thought it was a very good show for a first time trying to do a show. I mean, you pulled it together. You pulled it off.
Well, thank you. I actually thought that, just like you said, for a first year, I thought that it was absolutely fantastic. And I think it had everything to do with you all, because the energy was so great that night. I mean, packed room, the energy was just so amazing. And just to be backstage and sort of looking out in the audience and seeing just people having a great time, smiling and clapping. And it wasn't about competition. It was about support, meeting each other. So that's what, when I first got into this, like going to the award shows, so that's what it felt like. Like it felt like community. Now it sort of feels like competition. Who's better than who, and who's gonna win, and who's that. But back in the day, it felt like, oh, we're nominated, but we're going because we want to meet the people from this show. We want to meet this person. We want to meet that person. So that was wonderful. Leading up to it, with so many problems, like the editor's dad got into a horrific car accident that Wednesday afternoon as he was finalizing all of the presentation packages, and he couldn't finish. So we had to find a new editor at the last minute. We found him on Thursday morning. He got the hard drive, and Thursday night he called at like 9:00 p.m. and said, "I can't open the hard drive. I can't get into the file, so I'm gonna have to do everything from scratch." And I'm like, "Well, the show is Saturday." And he was like, "I'm gonna try." And he called at 3:00 in the morning. Friday said, "Hey, I got in. I'm gonna be able to finish it." And Friday, everything was there. So it was wonderful. This year, of course, because of COVID-19, we had to put out a statement that this year's show is going to be postponed until 2021. But the great thing about it is we are extending the submission period until April of 2021, because a lot of shows that wanted to submit were in the process of their production and they had to stop production. And so what we want to do is give them a chance to get back on set, record, produce, edit, put it out there so they can be eligible for next year. So it's now we have a whole another year to prepare, and the show is just going to be fantastic. This year was going to be fantastic with what was planned, but next year is going to be even doubly fantastic.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell you because as you know, I had my own drama getting to the show, getting cross country. Everybody was like, "You made it! You made it!" I was like, "Trust me, it was down to the wire. It was down to."
It's like he's on a train in Chicago and the train has jumped the track. I'm like, what?
It did. And
what?
Then I couldn't get a flight out until the next day, and they gave me a hotel room. And I mean, it was just like. But I'll tell you, the whole time I was so nervous because I wanted to be there for you. I wanted to be there because we're friends. I've talked to you about this whole process, and I knew why you were doing it. And you're right; it wasn't about competition. It was really funny because I was just like, he's doing something that I feel is so important that I want to be there for that. at the very least. I want to be there.
Thank you.
I really want to be there for that. And that was one of the reasons why I decided to really want to be there. Plus, I was presenting a new tour at the end of the night. And I was like, I didn't even think I was going to win. Everybody knows that already. I didn't think I was going to win. So I was like, but I want to be there to represent your show, help it run smoothly by doing the part that you gave me. It was very important to me.
Oh, thank you. Like, I have to say, like, I was moved. I had heard about your travel issues at the reception on Friday night, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, well, he doesn't know like how, like, if he's gonna make it on time, and it might be at the last minute." And I said, "You know what? Everything is gonna." I said, "You know what? Everything's gonna work out. Everything is gonna work out." Like when I saw people from North Carolina and South Carolina and Atlanta and Philly and Chicago, and so all these creators just come and just for the one who does what we're doing is appreciating our work. And I feel like something that Martha Byrne said to me a long time ago when she came on the show is that once you're given a responsibility of change, you take that change and you do just that. You make change. If you don't like what you're seeing, don't complain about it. Change it.
Mm-hmm.
Change it. So I felt there was a need. I felt that there was some underrepresentation of content creators of color. And I said, instead of complaining about it, just do a show. Had no idea if people were going to come.
Right.
Had no idea if they were going to come and show up. Spent like a shitload, a ton of money to like get everything together. And I said, this is what they deserve. This is what they deserve. This wasn't going to be in a conference room with a PowerPoint presentation. This was going to be a full out. This is going to be a full out production. And I said, look at me today. I don't do anything half-assed.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm like, let's make this memorable. Let's when you look back on your pictures and the Facebook memories pop up next year, I want you to feel like it was special, because it was special to me. And that night I went back to my hotel and I just lay down and I slept so good, because I felt like, not to get all spiritual and stuff with my hair looking like this, but yes. I felt like God put a calling on me to do this, and I fulfilled that calling.
Good.
Just to see afterwards, people were so happy and were there with their loved ones and boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives and mothers. They brought their mothers.
I know.
And so, like, to be the facilitator of that, I don't take it lightly. So next year is going to be even more phenomenal.
But you understand that people talk, people complain, and do nothing about it.
Right.
And like I said in my speech, I said you're the definition of if you don't see it, be it. I believe that with you. Like, you did it with Anacostia, you did it with that show too. But you're a doer. You and I are doers. We do shit.
Yes.
That's what we do. You know me, I do stuff. I don't just sit around and talk.
Absolutely.
About it.
I don't sit.
I know you don't either. And so I think and so why I bring up this is kind of like for people out there who are watching this, thinking about, I want to start something. I want to do it. I mean, like, it's not easy. He can tell you it's not easy.
Do it.
But do it. Like, don't just talk about it and complain and go, well, I never get noticed and this never happens. Well, then.
Like, it just happens. I think that if you have an idea, do it. There are going to be people that gravitate towards it.
Oh, yeah.
There are also going to be people that are going to say this shit is some trash.
Yes.
You have to understand, at the end of the day, it's your dream. So people are going to like it. People are going to understand it. Some people aren't going to like it. It's okay. Both of those are okay. I actually had a conversation with a young creator just last night, because he put out a movie And the movie's not my cup of tea, but some people criticized it, and I'm like, maybe this isn't the business for you, because you have to be gracious at all times. Thank you for watching.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that someone would like it.
Right.
You don't have to, but at the end of the day, you watched it. Wasn't for you. I appreciate you watching it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can do. I've always done that with Anacostia. I appreciate the people who watch it and like it, and the people who say, well, it's not exactly my type of thing. I don't really understand a black soap opera. Okay. Okay. You don't have to understand it. Thank you for watching.
Right.
Thank you for giving the view. And that's it.
But
you have to stay true to yourself.
well, you know, I had the same problem when I joined Black Hollywood Live years ago. They're like, well, James, why you're black, so why would you go to a black network? They're doing that pigeonhole you, blah blah. And I'm like, but I don't care if I'm pigeonholed in some. I'm not going to be anyway. I know who I am. I'm not going to be. But I do many things.
Right.
So it's like, but why is that? It's not a bad thing. I mean, I don't mind. I always say this. I don't mind if someone calls me a black host in a
Right.
description, as long as black isn't bad.
Right.
I don't mind that.
Right.
I'm a host. Yes, I'm a host. I mean, I see myself viewing myself as a black host. But if someone says you're a black host, okay, I am. I'm black and I'm a host. So I mean, I mean, if you're not saying it in a bad way or meaning something derogatory, I don't care. And I think with your award show was so funny. I most of the responses when I brought the award back home was like, okay, oh, I loved your speech. Oh my God, it was great. I cried. I laughed. I love you got an award. But I had a few responses from folks who are not black, of course, who were just like, so it's just mostly a black award show?
Yes.
I said,
like every other award show in Hollywood.
Exactly. I was like, yeah, and I said it was 70% content. You know, people on the show had to be, you know, of color, but there were white nominees too, and there was a couple Latino nominees. Oh, well, that's really interesting. And I'm like, what do you mean by interesting? Because they don't have to think about it. That's what I told them.
Right.
You never have to think about it. You never have to think about it. People of color, we think about it all the time.
Because we have to think, like, we don't want to think about it.
Not at all. I don't want to.
We would rather not think about it.
Thank you.
But how can we not think about it if it's constantly thrown in our face and we're constantly reminded that we are not worthy? And we're doing the same work that our Caucasian counterparts are doing, but we're not getting that recognition. And it's 5 or 10 years later down the line that you look back on retrospectives and they say, a show like Martin has never won the Primetime Emmy. Well, shows like Martin don't win primetime Emmys. You have a show like Atlanta, but that is because it's been deemed appropriate by the powers that be, and they don't get it. They don't get the humor that's in the show, but they get that, oh, this is supposed to be a hot show, so we're going to talk about it being hot. So I've heard that from a lot of people say, well, don't you think it's racist by you having a show that's dedicated to Black people? I'm like, well, don't you think it's racist that for for almost 100 years, there's only been like 4, 5, or 6 Black African Americans who have won acting Oscars? Don't you think that it's kind of racist that every year we have to talk about Oscar so white, or this is the first African American to win this in 49 years or 60 years? This is only the second Latino to win this award. Let's not get into pens and pencils here. Let's call it what it is. It's not racist. It's fair. It's fair, and it's fair because a lot of times the powers that be are not fair to the shows of color. It is the truth. And there's nothing wrong with saying that it hasn't been true. It's it is a fact. What James Reynolds is the what?
I would say
Second
third person of color to ever win lead actor. The last person was A. Martinez.
Lead actor.
In the 90s.
Well, no, he's the third person because I think it was Al
Freeman Jr., then
Al Freeman Jr.,
and then James Reynolds.
And I believe that we are still waiting for a woman of color to win lead actress.
Right.
So when you look on the primetime Emmys, Jackie is the only woman to win a comedy Emmy for 227, which was like 39 years ago.
Yeah.
Isabel Sanford is the only Black woman to win lead in a comedy almost 50 damn years ago. So you cannot say that shows like the NAACP Image Awards or shows like the Capital City Web Awards are racist. It's not racist. If we don't give our people a tap on the back or a nudge saying great job, who the hell is?
Hello. You know what's so funny?
Like we have to.
Yeah. So so what's happened? Black History Month, which I still get upset about because it's short. So after BuzzTV said we want to get our most popular hosts who are Black, which I'm one of them, obviously. I just say I'm the most popular Black host at AfterBuzz, but anyway, they want us to do a minute. They want us to create and write and put together a minute video on a show, a Black show we thought made history. So everybody else picked like Martin, Fresh Prince, Moesha, all these shows. Not saying they're not good; they were great and everything. I picked Generations. Everybody kind of chuckled and was like, well, guess who had the most views out of all the videos? Guess who had the most engagement out of all the videos? James Lott Jr.'s Generations. And
Generations.
And I was like, and so the people who were poo-pooing me for doing that, I'm going, did you realize it was before its time, first of all? But because of that, years later, we got haves and have-nots. I mean, everything comes from, that was the first that started it. It didn't take, it was too soon. But I mean, you can't go back in history and not look at that show. I know how important it was for me to see a Black family and a white family in the, in business. I mean, it was like, Anacostia, all these shows came from something from that.
Absolutely.
So but they all laughed at me at first, but I had the most views on everybody. And they're like, oh, I beat the ones who did Fresh Prince and all those. You think those get the views? No, my show is most interesting. Like, hello.
See? Right. And the crazy thing is I feel like people stray away from the topic or they don't want to talk about the topic because it opens you up to a bigger picture of why hasn't this happened? Why isn't this the situation? And people don't want to talk about, people are afraid to say the R word. They're afraid to say, it's kind of racist that like you got these talented people of color and they don't get the same recognition that their counterparts do. And I think that that's been like one of my whole like big things of being a creator of color for Anacostia and sort of going to a lot of the functions and like stuff like and like stuff like that, and you sort of feel a part of it, but you still sort of feel like an outsider sometimes.
Now you were the first African American male to be nominated as the lead actor in digital drama, right?
And nobody talked about it.
I'm just saying, folks. Just saying. He was the first. This is like what, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, however long it was. A long time ago, right?
No, it was 3 years ago.
Oh, 3 years ago. Okay.
3 years ago. 3 years ago. But Anacostia was the first African American series to be nominated for New Approaches, which is now daytime digital drama. So we don't get the same. So we don't get the same
like public circle. Like, I'll call it out. Like other shows get recognition all the time. The Band, all these other shows, you don't get the recognition. You don't.
Yeah. So just imagine. So pay no attention to this hair.
Yes.
Just imagine being a creator of a show and your show is on par with your white counterparts, and you look on your white counterparts' Facebook page or social media page, and you see that they have a 4 or 5 page spread in a soap opera magazine. That's one thing. And you sit back and wonder, well, wait a minute. Well, we're nominated. We're nominated alongside those people, and why aren't we getting a 4 or 5 page spread? And then you have incorporated daytime stars on your show, and they reach out to them to talk to them and say, oh, okay, well, let's talk about what you're doing now. And you just so happen to be on the show. But never once do they think, well, why don't we talk to the creator of the show and ask him, why does he think that these people would want to be on your show? Especially when Martha Byrne won her 3rd Emmy on this show. Elizabeth Hubbard was nominated for an Emmy, lost and won, and was nominated. It's very convoluted. Yeah. Depending on who you ask, she won it, but then she didn't. I don't know. But she got an Emmy nomination from this show. So what are you saying? Are you saying that the non-Black talent on this show is recognizable, but the talent that's on it isn't? So it's unfortunate. I think when I first got into this business, I came to it with a very fa la 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 type attitude, like let's all be friends and hold each other.
Wide-eyed, bushy-tailed. It was like, I'm ready. Yeah.
But over the course of 11 years, I have to say that my innocence has been taken away, and from it, I'm just more. And does it make you feel different, like about the industry? Yes. But does it make you want to work harder? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what we have coming up once we do get back into production with Anacostia is light years away from what anyone else has done.
Yeah. And just kind of just back to the award show for a second. I want to keep praising you for a second. It did feel like a room full of people, a lot of people I didn't even know, that were like coming up to me. I mean, people I did know too, of course, people I did know. Like I said, when I looked at I was like, oh my God, you were on my show, and you were on my show, and like there was kind of nice to be united. But there were folks I didn't know who came up to me afterwards and were like, I admire your work. I saw you. I didn't know you until like this year, and I saw your stuff, and we were talking to each other, and literally in my category, we were all just like, whoever wins, we're going to stand up for him and clap. And I remember when I won, and Candace stood up, and the other they clapped. They were clapping for him. It was like it didn't feel like competition. It just felt like if one of us wins, it's good. Like it's like whoever wins, it's a winner because we're all we're all of color. I mean, like literally, it was kind of like that. Like, well, because when I lost the host one, the first one I was like, I don't care. I'm like, somebody of color's winning an award. So I'm like, you never see that. You never see that. So I'm like, yes, girl, go ahead, girlfriend, go on to me, get up there with wear that dress and everything, show that booty, go on, girl. But it was like, but it did feel, my mindset, it did feel different. And it felt like everyone is good. It's not like, okay, the 2 Black folks in this category, one of us has to win, and the white person wins, they're gonna be happy. You know that's true. You think about that sometimes. You think, because I'll go, whether it's me or you, that's fine. We don't have else to win it. But this one was like, it was all people of color. So it's like, well, if any of us wins, that's win for everybody. You're like, sure, okay, that's fine.
Right. And like the great thing is the nominees were not all people of color, because there were some Caucasian nominees that was there too. Like if people read the criteria, then they will know that this show was not about excluding anyone.
Nope.
But what it was about was giving props and giving attention, overdue attention to a lot of shows that on a normal basis, with the other award shows that are out, may not be at a level to either be recognized by them or are very dismissed by them, because there is that whole thing of like, all right, well, you know, this show has 65 soap stars on it, so of course you want that show there so it can so your award show can be written up in the press pages. Because what's gonna what's gonna get you written up in the press pages? Having so and so from the daytime drama versus having Keisha from Compton. So I mean, it's like,
it's true, yeah.
And it's like, you understand it, but at least have balance.
Yeah.
At least let there be a balance in it. Not feel so excluded from something that we helped. Let us not feel excluded from a house that we helped build, because we helped build that house that is now digital drama.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll share something with you. Backstage, when a bunch of us, that's my girl, a bunch of us were getting ready to do our presenting, and there was like 3 different groups of us back there, and they were all, I mean, I'm a host, so I'm ready. I'm used to doing this stuff for this decade. But everybody was so nervous. They wanted to make sure they got your words right from the scripts that you gave us. They were very, just like, I had it down when I got, I had it down. You know, I made it my own when I went up there, but I had it down because I do it for a living. This is what I do for a living, so I'm used to it.
Right.
Watching the others, they're not used to it. I was like, you'll be fine. I'm not being like Papa Jenny back there. Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. Just kind of know kind of the words, hit the marks. But it showed that they were really serious. Again, they took it seriously. They're like, we want to make sure Anthony knows that we got the script. We want to follow it as close as we can. We don't want to mess up. And that was again, it was a testament to your award show that they were taking it seriously.
Yeah, I felt that it's like I had my family there in the audience. I don't take my family out to too many things.
Yeah.
Because my mama, man.
Yes.
Like sometimes her and her cigarettes and
yes.
Sometimes you don't know what anime you're gonna get. You might get friendly anime. You might get anime that ain't have a cigarette in 45 minutes.
Okay, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So that's the dangerous one.
Yeah.
But so when I felt like it was a family affair because my son was a trophy boy, and so it's like, and I felt like I did. It's like I said earlier. I felt like I did something good for people, and I feel like I've done that with Anacostia, City Boys, the reality show that's coming up, City Eats with Magical. I'm actually getting ready to do I was in preparation for shooting a documentary dealing with LGBT members of society and their journey to adoption, and how they've had to struggle still in 2020, 2019, just to welcome a child into their home. And so we're working on that documentary. There's a movie that I've been wanting to do for a really long time that we're going to do later this year. So like a brother stays busy, and plus there's like Anacostia still stuff coming up there. I've been doing my due diligence as an Emmy voter, as a daytime Emmy voter. Greg, I got you. Shout out to Greg. Fingers crossed for you.
My buddy, yes.
But I feel as though over the last 11 years, I have been incredibly blessed to not only work with an incredible group of actors and actresses, but to meet legends like Martha Byrne and like Elizabeth Hubbard, and to be in rooms that all these soap opera stars, and the one person I have not met yet is Michelle Stafford. So
that's my friend. That's my girl. That's my girl.
And I've only started watching Young and the Restless again because she went back to Young and the Restless. I wish she could split her time between Young and the Restless and GH and go back to being Nina. Because, but I don't.
My tea on Cynthia Watros. Let me sip my tea.
I don't know. I'm trying to let the woman grow on me, but it's like a child. I'm trying to water it like a chia pet and let it grow, but it ain't growing. But it is what it is.
No, she ain't as bad as the one I complain about all the time, and people know this in the industry. And if I ever meet him, I'm so sorry, but I think he's horrible on the show. The man who plays Peter.
Oh.
Exactly. Let me sip my tea. That's all I'm going to say. People know that I'm not happy.
Well, let's just say I am a huge supporter of Cynthia. I just think, if I was a baker, but I didn't know how to read recipes, I would still want to be a baker. That just didn't mean that I should be that baker. So maybe everything isn't for everybody.
Yes.
And I think that role isn't for everybody. I think Michelle Stafford should maybe go back part-time, do like a Eileen Davidson. She was on 15 shows at one time.
Well, that's Wally Kurth. He does GH and Days of Our Lives.
Yes. So, if anybody wants to hire me up on one of them shows, I would love to be on one of them shows. My hair. But
your hair done.
hopefully,
one day, if we get together, you come out to California, she'll love you. But Michelle's one of the most real down-to-earth people on earth. She's so down-to-earth.
That is fun for us. I have watching GH and stuff like that. I watch GH for particular actors and actresses. I love GH watching someone like Maura West work the role of Ava Jerome, which I feel is one of the best created characters in daytime television for a woman in a long time. It's something when you have somebody on par with a Sonny Corinthos and it's a female. And I just love how she owns that role, much like how Michelle Stafford owns the role of Phyllis. I liked her as Nina. I wish she'd go back. But it's like you have your favorites, and these shows inspired me to do what I do. And hopefully the next 10 years when Anacostia is done and I'm on to something else, maybe like movies or television and stuff like that, I'm always going to remember where I got my inspiration from, and it was from daytime TV.
Yeah, it is. And I've been in daytime. I've been doing daytime for years. It's press and everything, and I love it. I cover all 4 shows. I love it. The actors are amazing. They're the hardest working people in show business, period. You get a daytime actor on one of your digital series, you're in good hands. They know how to learn lines. They know how to do blocking. They know how to get this shit done fast. They know what they're doing. They know what to do.
They know what they're doing, but even more so, someone like Martha Byrne, I have to say, I don't even think she realizes really, but someone like Martha has done more than increase my belief in myself. It's one thing for you to believe in yourself, but it's another thing for someone who you look up to as immaculate to pull you aside and say, I believe in you. I want greatness for you. Anything that I can do, don't hesitate to call me and ask me to help you out. I'll read a script, give you script notes, give you everything, because all I want to do is see you be great.
Right.
What more could you ask for? Class act on your show to really instill positivity and encouragement in you, especially on the days that you feel like you want to give up. And she said, keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on going. Ain't no quitting you. You keep on going. So I absolutely love her and everything that she has brought to our show and the confidence levels that she has brought up just from her presence. So I am hugely indebted to her.
Well, that hair. the thing that's that I always learn is that no man is an island. We all need to work this together, and the digital drama series, the daytime community, we really need to come together because the outside world is we're crazy sometimes. And we need to really support each other. And one of the things that came out of going to the award show was that I made a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends. I mean, Corey Knott was out. We hung out together. Took him to AfterBuzz. We hung out together. My show. Like, you know me. I'm like, you want to come on my show? You're gonna be in California? Come on my show. You were on my show. Try the series of my show. I mean, like, I love supporting other people. And I feel like that's just something you do too. It's like you support me, I support you. That's what we do. It's like that's what we should be doing. I'm like, no one else is checking for us. I mean, we have to check for each other. We have.
Let me tell you, this whole COVID-19 thing, unfortunately, it has like taken a family, like a longtime family friend, just like that. And what this has done, it has made me actually look internally and say, is certain disagreements worth it? Is it worth it? Like if I unfortunately was in ICU, and am I gonna be sitting there thinking, I can't stand this person, or me and this person had a disagreement? No, I want to live a life to where I can sleep at night and be like, look, we are grown adults. We can agree to disagree. I ain't got nothing against you. So when all this stuff happened, like I have been in contact with people that I said maybe I would never talk to again. Yeah. And you realize that it's not worth it. Like it's not worth it. So to people that I have had a falling out with, Michael Caruso, I love you. Good. I love you. Good. We may not see eye to eye on some things. I may not like how things unfolded, but it happened years ago. I'm not holding grudges on anybody, on anything, on anyone, because at the end of the day, life is too short to be, and at a moment's notice, we could be gone. And when I stand in front of Jesus Christ, when I stand in front of him and he says, why should I let you in these gates? I'm gonna look at him and say, well, why shouldn't you? Okay. Because my conscience is clean.
Yeah, right.
My conscience, I've been good to people. And even people who have been good to me, I've been good to them. So go on and open that gate. But it's like it feels so good to, even if you don't talk to them physically, for you to say to yourself, I'll let this shit go. I'll let it go. Like it is what it is. It was what it was. It ain't stopped me from having a roof over my head. Right. It ain't stopped me from taking care of my kid. It didn't stop no money in my pocket. It didn't stop me from eating. I'm good.
Right. You like it, I love it. Good. I'm done. I'm good. Right. You like it, I love it. That's how I look at things. I'm like, I mean, there's some folks out there. I mean, I'm well liked by most of you, but there's a few folks that don't like me, and I'm just like, that's on you. You have that. I'm not taking it on. My life. I'm too busy. I got things going on. I don't got time to look at all this over here. So it's like, good luck to you. And maybe we do run cross paths. We'll be fine. Who knows? But I'm not gonna hold on to it because it just right. It's just like there's no point to it at this point because I miss going to Panda Express and standing in line and trying to get my food. Right. I miss doing that. I mean, I had to order food tonight, but I miss going to some place. I miss going to the mall. I hate the mall. But I'm like, I miss going to the mall. Like, we really had things taken away from us, so to speak. Regular, everyday things. I have to wear a mask. Folks, to go outside to meet up with my niece who's bringing me food. Like, I've taken all that for granted. That's all been taken for granted. And so now I'm getting back to that.
The absolute hardest thing for me is like my mom lives a street. So like me and my mom are separated by like a townhouse community. So I'm in one townhouse community. There's one in between us and she's on the other street. So we're literally like a street apart. Okay. And like she just wanted to see me for my birthday. So I just drove past there and I blew the horn. She came to the door and I was like, hey, mama. She was like, oh, happy birthday. I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well, now you see me, I'm going home. But the hardest thing is because I do have to go out sometimes and go to the grocery store and stuff like that. The hardest thing for me to have been is like I'm very affectionate with my son. So when he wakes up in the morning, he comes downstairs, I give him a hug, say, good morning, son. How are you? Good morning. I love you. So the hard part is being out in the midst of all this, coming home, taking off your shoes outside and trying to make sure that you're not bringing potentially anything in. And seeing your child come downstairs and having to give him like a fist bump instead of physically hugging him. And it's because of fear that maybe you're asymptomatic and not showing any signs, and then you hug him, and next thing you know, your child is sick, and who wants that? And who wants that guilt on them? Right. And so that's been like the hardest thing, and that's what really made me look internally and say, people that you have beef with, you haven't spoke to them, they haven't spoke to you. You don't know if they are going through something right now. You don't know if they could use a friendly phone call from you right now. You don't know if they could just use the acknowledgement that somebody is thinking about them. And I said, you know what? I give this shit up. Like, I give this shit up. I say, God, take all this animosity, take all this angst that I had with people, the things that I felt people did wrong to me, take it away from me. And when I said that, it lifted off of me. And I'm good. I'm good. Like, whatever it was, it was. Yeah. So I feel like it's something when you're in a different place in life, you're in a better place in life. And even some people that have done this show, I had this conversation with Antonio Harrison the other day, and he said, well, how do you, he's like, doesn't it make you mad that, like, you feel like you've given the opportunity to people on the show and they've sort of turned around and went other places and given you their ass a kiss? And I said, no, it doesn't bother me. And he said, well, why doesn't it bother you? It's not my problem. It's not, my conscience is clean. So whatever that is, that's over there. It's not here, because if it was here, I couldn't sleep at night.
Right.
Because I'm the type of person where if I did you wrong, like if you and I got into something to where I really felt like I did you wrong, I don't know about you, but I can't sleep at night. And if that means that I have to call you and you cuss me out and say, you black son of a bitch, say something like that, I'm gonna eat that because I did something to you. Yeah. And I'm asking you for your forgiveness. But hey, that is what it is.
You said what you said.
I said what I said.
No, and I agree with you. I do agree with you, and that's a great way to end the show. I just think I think people need to look at the bigger picture. That's what we're saying basically. You got a lot to do. You got things going on. You don't have time to hold on to this baggage.
No.
You got shows to produce. You got movies to film. You got things to write. You got a son to raise. Like, you got to worry about who's going to make your next dollar, your house. You got things going on. That's how I always feel. I'm on to the next thing. I got stuff going on. I don't got time to hang on to all that. Just don't.
Let me close this by saying to you that I thank you for just being James Lott Jr. I thank you for providing a platform for creators like me to come on and share our stories and expose our shows to people. I thank you for being a kind-hearted person. I thank you for being an inspiration, because that speech that you gave that night inspired people. Like, you know that my sister last Christmas was admitted to the hospital with a brain aneurysm out of the blue. And that night was the first night that she was out of her house and like out. And she said that when she heard your story, it touched her. And it let her know that even though she's going up like that, she was like, oh yeah, there's light at the end of this tunnel. When you have that type of anointing in your word to heal a stranger or to give a stranger comfort, that is nothing but God inside of you. And so I thank you for being a vessel of love. And that's what I'm trying to be in all of the rest of my days, is a vessel of love. It's like, if we disagree, let's talk it out. Let's not go our separate ways and be angry. I'm gonna tell you something, because I'm honest, James. I actually tried to reach out and call Michael Caruso.
Okay.
I think he has me blocked, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's a thought that counts. I was actually going to call him and just tell him, hey, look, brother, at one time we had a friendship.
Yeah.
I appreciate that friendship, and I appreciate you for who you are. So I say to you, thank you for being someone that provides opportunities for people like me, because with Corey Knott and all these other creators like Derek Lewis Gray and all these other people, they met you, and through you, their show got exposed to other people that may not have come across this show any other way. So thank you for being that vessel. And with COVID-19 out there, I just want to say to you, wig and all, Anthony Anderson, Rockman, Jamal Anderson, we love and support you. We love and support you, and we thank you.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you very much. And people have still come to me and go, I'm one of the old guys. They come to me and say it all the time. I'm one of the old guys. I'm like, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. I love you, so that's goes without saying. You almost make me start crying, and I'm not gonna cry right now on TV. I always cry. I always cry. Because your hair. Thank you very much. So tell folks where they can find you and your hair.
I don't know if I'm doing like a Lieutenant Uhura or what. Like,
yeah, I know, it's kind of something.
Like, there's a communication captain. Come on, Nichelle Nichols. She ought to be on the show. But anyway, you can find us on Twitter at Anacostia Series. You can find us on Instagram at Anacostia Series. You find me on Twitter at ANTNEYA. You can check out Anacostia on Amazon Prime and YouTube. With the COVID-19, we actually put the shows back on YouTube.
Oh,
because
good. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, because people may not be able to. Yeah. People may have canceled their Amazon stuff, so like we want to make sure that people can watch it. And I'm just hoping that next year or whenever we get back into the swing of things, that people enjoy the next episodes of Anacostia. We're always up for some people to come and play with us on the show. So we may have some surprises. Okay. We may have some surprises. Okay. And I'm just grateful with everything that's going on. I live in a county in Maryland that is leading the COVID-19 cases. And every day the count goes up. So I am grateful and thankful that for whatever reason, I can sit here and say that I have been healthy, and that my child is healthy, and that my mom is healthy, my family members are healthy, and it's a scary, scary time right now. Death, anything involving death is scary. So I think that we need to try to be a lot better to each other. We need to try to love each other a little bit more. And we need to try to say hello, thank you, I love you more to one another. So James Lott Jr., hello, thank you, I love you.
Hello, thank you, I love you too, Anthony Anderson.
It's like a Whitney Houston wig.
Oh my God, when she was doing drugs. And I'm James Lott Jr., folks. And you can find me where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. and all social media platforms. That hair is killing me. It's kind of like it's almost like also Eddie Munster, but like
yes, it's a lot. Like it's a lot going on. I don't know if you can see the peak on it.
Yeah, you can see it. Oh, geez. And you can follow my show everywhere. It's streamed everywhere, and it's on YouTube, GLJ Media. And I'm just going to end it right there because that hair is scaring me. Everyone, stay safe, sane, and laugh.